Good morning, class. My name is Dr. Araipur, and you may call me Dr. A. Welcome to your course. I have sent you several emails regarding the course, and this is the homepage of Canvas. And I have put numbers here. Number one, there was a welcome message welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here, and I wish everybody best of luck. The second one is the class philosophy. In short, we consider this as a community where we can help one another, and we do it with utmost respect. Number three is the announcements. I'm going to put this in student mode. I have sent you several emails, and you can find them under the announcements. Under the announcements, we have the recorded orientation for previous semesters, very similar to what we do here. Welcome and orientation. And welcome to a virtual course. So in that case, some students have already started, have explored the course, and their homework in MOM, My Open Math. The next one is number 4. The synopsis of that is the syllabus, modules, which we have the practice test, the PowerPoints. We solve the practice test gradually, one by one. We do the homework in My Open Math. I'm going to refer to it as MOM. And then the practice test key, all of which can be found under the modules right here or right here. Then we have the discussion forum and the exams. And you can find the office hours right here or on the syllabus. So let's start from the very top and look at the syllabus here. Under the syllabus, first I want to go over the calendar first, quickly show you. This is an Excel file, which is a calendar, and it shows what we have to cover on a regular basis. For example, the very first exam takes place on week 4, so every few weeks we have an exam. So that's the calendar. The first one is the syllabus, and starts with the information about the course. And then we have topics, because if you find the syllabus to be way too long for you, you can look at the topic of interest. So if I scroll down, it starts with the course description, catalog description, the text, and I will show you when we go through MOM. I'll show you there. It's from OpenStax. It's free. It's an ebook. You don't have to pay a penny for that. And then the online assignment is done in My Open Math. I'm going to call it MOM for short. Class calendar. Again, every few weeks we have an exam. The final exam schedule is here. Important dates, calculators. You can even use a graphing calculator from time to time, but we can't use it for the exam. The tech support for the publisher, My Open Math, as well as the campus tech support, math tutorial center if you need it, and the grading policy. That's probably the most important thing for the students. So we have 4 exams. Each one is worth 100 points, giving us 400 points. Homework is 250 points. It is really easy to get 100% on that, because the way I've set it up, when you start the homework, you can take as much time as you want to finish it. And there are several attempts. And as long as it's done before the due date, you're in good shape. Then we have a biology calculus student success unit. This is done in a different canvas. And I will put the grade at the end of the semester when it's given to me. So you want to make sure you pay attention to that. It's only 5% of the course, 50 out of about 1,000 points. But there are a couple of things that is interesting. Number one, it gives you a lot of information, not only about this course, but how to navigate all your courses and how to be successful. So that's really fantastic. Aside from that, there are cases that sometimes students are on a borderline because they didn't want to do that. The final is comprehensive, and it's 300 points. Although it says comprehensive, it's very simple. All you have to do, study the previous exams. Also, the lowest grade among the first 4 exams may be replaced by what you get on the final, as long as the final is good. That means 80% or higher. and your homework is at 95% or higher. And more importantly, this action will result in a higher letter grade. And this whole information is here, the synopsis of that in this table. We don't have a makeup test because I have set up the exam such that you receive an email with the password. The exams are password protected, and you have time to do it. And I've set up all the exams to be due on Saturdays. This way, at your convenience, you can do that. Course late work, basically, you don't want to do that because you can easily get behind. However, some assignments you may do it late with a 10% penalty, but on a normal basis, and in the past and the experience that I have, students who do that, they have a hard time making it in the course. The next thing that I find it very interesting is called CSULB 36, which means on the average, we have to do 3 hours per unit to be successful. So for example, this is a 3-unit course. We need to spend 9 hours per week at the minimum to do well. And of course, it depends on the background. Then we have some dropping policy, disability plagiarism, so on and so forth, the CSULB commitments that, in short, CSULB commitment says, we are here to help you. We want you to be successful. And you can find all various helps here, okay? So, and of course, class safety during COVID, we meet online, we don't have to worry about that, but you want to pay attention to that for other classes that you have, and the basic needs. And summary steps to success. In short, you want to study the lecture PowerPoints. You want to create the formula sheets. You want to do the examples and homeworks, and it gets you ready for the exams, as long as it's done in a timely fashion. Pay attention to office hours. I have them here, and also I have them on the home page of the syllabus. If you go to the home page of the syllabus at the bottom, this is where you see the office hours, or right where it says here, which is basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:50. That means 8 o'clock to 9 almost. And you don't want to mix it up with the meetings that we have here. The meeting takes place under the Zoom meeting. All you have to do, join here. That is different than the office hours. The office hours is set up for the for every class, whereas this one under the Zoom meeting is your class only. All right. And then holidays, so on and so forth. So that's the synopsis of the syllabus. At any time, you can go back and look at it with more details. So what comes next is the modules. Under the modules, you can find a lot of things. So let's click either under the modules right here or right here. Again, on the left navigation bar, you see the same thing. So modules, and it starts with, see, My Open Math, access your online homework, no need for course ID to log into. I can't emphasize this enough because sometimes students ask, there is no need for course ID. So what do you find there? If you click on this, it basically asks you to register, that's all. So we're gonna come back to this when we wanna do the homework, so you're gonna register. But for now, what else is there? So exam 1 module, exam 2 module, exam 3, exam 4. And then after exam 4, we have the final exam review. There's some stuff for exam to get ready for the final exam. Not only you want to study from the previous 4 exams, you want to pay attention to this part. And then there's some information about the calculator and TI calculator commands. So for now, we just want to be concerned with the exam 1 module, because if we learn that, the rest of them follow. So what do we find under the exam 1 module? It starts with the exam review or practice test, okay? Practice test or exam review. So I have this for you, including the key. Here's what I'd like you to do. The very first thing you do today is to take 5 to 10 minutes to read this. You don't have to do anything. The only reason I want you to read it is to see what is coming your way, okay? Now, and every day, as soon as we finish our lecture, you start doing 1 or 2 questions. All it takes maximum 2 questions per day, which is really not a lot. Although it's even better, the moment I finish, for example, section 1.6, go do the 4 questions for 1.6, so on and so forth. So going back to the modules, the first one is the exam reviews. The second one is the set of homework, PowerPoints. And what do you find there? I'm going to click on one of them. I want to show you what you find there. You find the PowerPoints we're going to cover. So what is it that you get? You don't have to write any definitions, formulas, proofs. You just pay attention. So what do you have to write? You don't even have to write the examples. You have to write the solutions to the examples because you don't get it here. So when you're in class, you pay attention to the definitions, all the writings, nothing you have to write until we get to the examples where you have to write the solutions. Step-by-step solutions will be given to you. You don't even have to write the examples. This way we save a lot of time. All right. And of course, you can go back and look at the next one and the next one and the next one. So under exam one, the second part is the PowerPoints. Over here, what do we find? Now, comes the week of exam and we are done with everything. So we are going to review things. And I have the PowerPoints that we review. And I do have the recordings of everything. And of course, when you're in class, you learn all of this with details, step by step. So right on the left navigation bar where you see recorded lecture, this is my YouTube channel, if you click on it. And by the way, if you ever miss the class, you can watch my recordings, starting with the first section. So we have the recordings for the sections, the first section 1.6, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And notice when we are ready to take the exam, during the exam review, not only I go over everything with details, I have the recording in case anybody misses that. So this is exam one review, limits and derivatives. So we always have just about everything for you. So going back to the modules. First, we have my open math here. Then we have exam one module, which has the exam review with the keys, PowerPoints, and the week of the exam where we do the review, PowerPoints with details. I'm going to go back to the home page. So under the modules, we found that the homework is done in my open math, and it's set up that you can watch a video lecture, lesson, assessment, and then start doing the homework. I explained the keys. Now, what is the discussion forum? The discussion forum, again, you can find it here or under the left navigation bar. Either way, the first one is the student bios. And I put mine in case, you want to see what you want to write based on what you read from here, and you reply to mine. Okay, you always reply to mine. And you write, it doesn't have to be long. You can write a short one, and it says how to embed an image if anybody is interested to do that. So this way you get to know your fellow students. I highly recommend you do that. Now, under the discussion forum, there is one more thing, and that is frequently asked questions. In the past, students have had some questions. I've gathered them here. So please, before you email me, you ask me any questions, I highly recommend you take a few minutes. It takes just a couple of minutes. Read this. For example, this has come up, although I've mentioned it a billion times. Do I need a course ID for for registration with my open math? The answer is absolutely no. Because we are registering through Canvas. And more information is here. So please take a few minutes to go through that. Going back to the home page. So the discussion forum, and then you take the exams. Again, exams takes you to the same place, modules, which means you have to take it right here, okay? And going back to the home page, at the end, you see the office hours for any Q&A. So what I'd like to do is to change this from the student view and go to my open math. Here's my open math. And the very first thing I want you to notice, at the top of the page, we have Introduction to MOM assignment. Basically, it gets you familiar with how to navigate my open math. That's why I put it at top. So let's actually get started with that. It doesn't take long. And notice we start just writing the information. The very first question, enter this number just the way it is, no rounding. So look at this rectangle. The moment I click on it, it opens a math editor. I can put a fraction bar, I can use powers, I can use radicals, you name it. So I'm going to just put this number, 53.7395. That's all I'm doing. The next one says you want to round it to the nearest hundreds. So 53.73, this is number 3, next to it is 9, so it goes up, becomes 53.74. The next one, I'm going to divide this number by 0, and as you know, we can't, it's undefined. Since they don't have undefined here, I'm going to use DNE, short for does not exist. At this point, all I have to do is submit the question. It check marks and it says, I have it right. If I have any of them wrong, I can get a similar question and do it again, and it gives me full credit when I get it right. And I can continue to the next question, next question, next question, you name it. But something comes up, I can't finish it, I have to go and come back. So if I click on done, what happens? It registers the first question that's done, and it does give me points for that. But at the same time, it says the rest of them are unattempted. I can either resume or just exit. I'm going to exit at this point, but anytime I come back and I click on it, I can resume from the questions that I haven't done. And as I add, it also adds to my gradebook. The next one is the exams. I put it next to the top because I don't want anybody to miss that. All of these exams are password protected. The password will be emailed to you, and you can find it under the announcement when it's emailed. Then we have the course description, calendar. And I want to explain something about the calendar. The very first assignment is right here. You see it, it's in red, which means basically it's due pretty soon. Then look at the first exam. All exams are due on its due date, which is Saturday. And the homework, all of them are due before the day before the exam. Does that mean that I have to do all the homework right here? No, every day do one. Or after I finish a section, start a section, you may do half of it and then another half. But if you wait until this day, you probably don't get a chance to finish that. Then we have module 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so what is module 0? As it mentions, it's resources. For example, here's the textbook, everybody. As I said, it's free. If you look at this one, it gives you the explanation about the text. If you click on view online, it gives you the text online. And you know, it's available in the form of an ebook. It's free. There are other parts. For example, if I click on this one, it takes you to a different text. It's about sequences and their notation. So these are all different textbooks. And then we have the calculators here. For example, if I click on this, it takes me to a scientific calculator, which is free. The point being, I don't want you to pay a penny for anything. So module 0 has all the resources. Then How do I use a late pass calendar? Okay, great book. Again, as I mentioned, the information about the calculators, various calculators. I'm giving you access to various calculators online and the videos. The point being, you choose the one that works for you. And right here, it says chapter review, pre-calculus review. We have 5 sections here. Anyone who hasn't had math for a long time, or you feel uncomfortable with that, you want to look at that, they will not be graded. Okay, for example, it starts with the text, some videos, watch those videos, do this. Well, this homework under chapter review are there for you to practice. They will not be graded. It's not part of the grade book. So module 0 contains tons of resources. You start with module 1, and the rest of them repeat in the same manner. So let's stick with module 1. What do we find in module 1? It starts with the text. Again, if you click on if you're interested in reading the text, you can click on, for example, this topic and read the text. If you don't need to, you don't need to. And the same thing for the next one and the next one. But I want you to notice, then it says section videos. I highly recommend you watch those videos, especially if after we have the lecture, for some reason you feel overwhelmed or everything was covered, you think it was pretty fast, although you can always watch my recording of those. You can watch these recordings. And then it's time for you to do the homework. When you start the homework class, just as I shown you before, it asks you to answer, and some of the homework, what I want you to notice is that they have a video next to them. This has a video, this has a video, this one doesn't. So if you're uncomfortable with that question, you can always watch the video. So for example, this says write the first term. Okay, the first term is 1 here. You see A1 is 1, A2 is 2, so this is 1. We have seen this in previous courses. This is 2. And then A7 is the sum of the other 2. So for example, the third one is 1 plus 2 is 3. And if I add the fourth term, 3 and 2 is 5. And then 5 and 3 must be 8. The previous 2 terms. So if you submit the question, it says check marks. And all of them are right. Let's say I had one of them wrong, I could get a similar question and do them from the scratch. Again, something has come up and I can't continue, I can press done. The moment I press done, it says number 1 is right, and it has already registered my grade, but the rest of them are unattempted. What do? Well, I can resume or I can exit. And that's all there is to it. So let me quickly recap everything for you. So here's the homepage of Canvas. We have the welcome message, class philosophy, and then announcements. I highly recommend you check the announcements if you in case miss your emails. And then we have the syllabus, modules where everything can be found there. Discussion forum, exams, office hours. So under either the left navigation bar or right here, you can find them under the modules. This is where you register for my Open Math. This is the exam 1 module. You really want to be concerned with that and no more at this point. We have the recorded lectures here. It takes you to my YouTube channel. And here's where you click to join. In your case, you see join here to join the Zoom meeting. So let's go back to modules. So right here, right now, under the module, go here and register. That's what I want you to do. All right, happy studying and best of luck, everybody.